Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are live here on Lionsgate 8/8/2025. I am excited to hang out with you guys. Just let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from and what brings you here today. We will be getting started in just a minute. Also, this is my first time going live from this location, so just let me know if everything looks okay for you guys, if you're able to see me without any lag or anything like that. That would be awesome. Cool. Just let me know where you're tuning in from, what brings you to us today. Not only is it Lionsgate, but I also just learned it is International Cat Day, which is very aptly themed. So I would encourage you guys, if you have your own tarot or oracle cards, to get those. We're going to do some tarot together. We're also maybe going to do some journaling together, which I've never done on a live before. I'm excited to try this out. So make sure you have tarot, oracle cards if you have them, a journal, something to write with. Get ready to go, and we'll get started in a few minutes. Hello, Danmar. Welcome. Let me get my own deck here. So today we are going to do a divine power activation together. We have the goddess Sekhmet joining us. We also have the Lyran collective joining us to kind of activate some of that feline energy, that feline fire energy. And so we are currently underway with Leo season. Leo season is all about the self, getting to know and understand the self, the true self, the authentic self that lies beneath the masks, the programming, the facades. And so together we're going to activate that true self today. We're going to burn away the layers that aren't serving us. We're going to step into and activate that power to hopefully push us through till the end of the year. I don't know about y'all, but it has been one intense year for me. Who has been feeling the intensity? Let me know in the comments. Welcome, Jude. So Judy's been through it all. Yes, it's been a very challenging year for sure. We're kind of being challenged at every step of the way. As I've described it, it's like a sort of energetic marathon where it just feels like we are quite literally running a marathon, right? Like we're not getting any break. Like there's no chance really to catch your breath. You're just being pushed to level up. And if you are here, if you're drawn to this live stream or you're watching the recording later on, likely you've reached a point where you're a bit tired. You might be a bit burnt out. And so that's exactly why we're going to do this today. We're going to activate that power, that fire, that inner sun within you to give you that oomph, that push needed to make it through to the end of the year. So what we have on the agenda today, let me just check my outline. We have tarot and journaling, where we're just going to kind of come at this from the mental realm a little bit, understand what's blocking us from stepping into our full power right now, what's blocking us from attuning to our highest timeline, and what's needed to step into our full power and our highest timeline, because we are right on the precipice. We're so close to a breakthrough. If you are here, it is not by accident. It is because you are this close to a breakthrough. And maybe you've experienced this before, but it's usually just before that breakthrough that everything feels like it's hard and it feels like you're at your lowest point and things are impossible, things are depressing, things are a bit hopeless. That's a good sign. Celebrate that, because it means you're close to a breakthrough, and take this as your validation that you are so close. And we are really being asked to make a choice right now on which timeline we're going to align with. So maybe you've heard this if you've watched a lot of content on ascension, but there's a timeline split happening right now. And you have a choice to make. Are you going to choose this higher timeline, or are you going to go back to the lower timeline, which, even though it might not be pleasant, it's comfortable. It's probably the timeline that you are used to dealing with, the energies, the patterns that you're used to experiencing. The highest timeline is going to feel a little uncomfortable, a little scary, but at the same time, it's going to feel expansive, like you're going to feel the possibility. You're going to feel like there's something for you there, this pull, this drive to want to stay there. And so if you've been noticing lately that you've just had a lot of resistance, let's say you have a goal you're trying to achieve and you just keep encountering resistance after resistance after resistance, you are being tested to hold to your goal no matter what resistance you encounter. You're being tested to kind of be resolved right now. And if you can stick to that, you're going to anchor to this highest timeline. However, if you falter, you might go back down to the lowest timeline. And you might notice that you'll feel when you're in the lower timelines, you're just going to feel sluggish, depressed, hopeless, overwhelmed. And it's a very tangible, like, heaviness that you'll feel. The good news, though, this isn't a fear monger. You can shift at any time between these timelines. However, as we move into the end of September onward, it's going to become harder and harder to move between the higher and lower timelines. So that's why the next 6 weeks or so in particular are very, very important for where you want to align your energies. Which timeline do you want to be on? Which timeline do you want to give your focus to? If you are able to attune to that higher timeline, it's going to be easier and easier to stay there as we advance to the end of the year and moving onwards. So that is something to celebrate. All right. So that said, let's get out our tarot, our oracle, our journals. Let's get a little more information on this. And after this, we're going to do a meditation, which is also an activation. And this is where we're going to call on Sekhmet and the Lyrans and our own inner power. And we're going to set that ablaze. We're going to activate that. And then at the very end, I will just open it as an open Q&A. If anyone has any questions about anything, regardless if it's related to this topic or something else, you are free to just chat with me, free to ask your questions at the very end of the session. So, the first question that we're going to pull on is, what's blocking us from stepping into our full power right now? What's blocking us from stepping into our full power right now? So like I said, if you have your own tarot or oracle, you can pull for yourself and share what you receive. I'm going to pull for the group here. And what we're going to do is, once I get something, I'm going to hold it up to you guys and just let you think about it, get some interpretations on what you think the card might mean, and then I will weigh in with my interpretation for the collective. So what's blocking us from stepping into our full power? And I can feel a lot of resistance just going into this now. I can sense like a lot of people tuning in might be kind of stuck in a lower vibration, feeling, like it's hard to access higher guidance. Like maybe you've been feeling a bit disconnected from your higher self or your guides lately. You've been feeling a bit isolated. Maybe you've had abandonment wounds flaring up, shame flaring up, like feelings of unworthiness, wondering if you're truly worthy of this higher timeline. And so we have our card, what's blocking us from stepping into our full power? It's a major arcana, everyone's favorite card. Are you ready for it? It's the Tower. The Tower is what's blocking us from stepping into our full power. Does anyone have an interpretation? What does this image evoke for you? You can just give me a single word based on the imagery, the name of the cards, the colors. You don't even have to understand tarot to be able to interpret, to start to get intuitive hits. Judy says things falling apart. Sharon says stagnation. Yeah, I would say what's blocking us from stepping into our power is it's like a fear of just losing control. The Tower, I would say there's an element of surrender to the Tower card. And I get the sense that there's a fear of surrendering right now. And that's what's blocking us, ironically, from stepping into our full power. Subconsciously, probably not consciously, but subconsciously, you're feeling like if you just let go, if you're just like, Jesus, take the wheel, I surrender, everything's going to fall apart. You're not going to get what you want. You're not going to achieve your goals. But ironically, that's exactly what is needed here, to just let go, to surrender. Know that this tower is an illusion. So you can see this is like us. We're like this little wolf cub here looking up at this tower. This is the blockage. It looks intimidating, right? It looks scary. It looks impossible to scale. But I'm getting the sense that it's just an illusion. It's a projection of our own shadow. And once you are able to simply surrender to where you're at right now and accept where you're at, choose to be present, this just dissolves and the way opens very clearly. Yeah, Judy says right now, I keep on thinking and rethinking. Yeah. So this is about getting out of your mind into your body, into your present experience. That's the key. In order to shift to this highest timeline, we can't come at it from the mental realm anymore. We can't come at it from our heads. We gotta be embodied. It's all about an energetic frequency that we emit rather than what we think, rather than figuring things out. Hello, Carrie. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. So, let's pull another card. Next card is what's needed to step into our full power here. What advice does Sekhmet and the Lyrans have for us? What's needed to step into our full power? And welcome anyone that's tuning in. You can feel free. We're just pulling some tarot, some oracle right now. If you feel the call, you can get your own and pull on these questions. See if you get a little more individualized response. I'm going to pull for the collective here. Okay. Ooh, another major arcana. This is a powerful, powerful time, my friends. All right, so what's needed to step into our full power? This is perfectly in alignment with what I was just saying for the last one, for the Tower. So the card we have for this is the Wheel of Fortune. Woohoo! Major arcana. Yeah, welcome, Cosmic Traveler from Ohio. I was just in Ohio. I'm from Ohio originally, but I'm tuning in from Berlin, Germany today. Thanks for the rose glow. So interpretations on this is what's needed to step into our full power? Wheel of Fortune. What do you guys think? Let me know. Thank you. Dead Violence. Appreciate the gift. Okay. So we got some interpretations. The control. What's needed to step into our full power? The control. Lotus says surrender. Yeah, opposite. Carrie says change of perspective. Judy says fortune, lucky. Cool. Well, I like your new username, Cosmic Traveler. Very cool. Ooh, I like this. Yeah, willpower. So just a reminder, if anyone's just tuning in, the first question was what's blocking us from stepping into our full power? And we got the Tower card. And then we asked what's needed to step into our full power, and we got the Wheel of Fortune. So I would say what's blocking us is this resistance to surrender, and Wheel of Fortune is quite literally surrender, I would say, in this case. It's like that's what's needed is to surrender, and I sense divine timing here. It's like not being within this 3D matrix. When I get this card in this deck, the wheel, to me, represents the 3D in the false matrix. The bird represents our higher selves, our spirit guides, that which exists outside of the matrix. We are not bound to the rules of this matrix when we are outside of it. And so that's what's needed here, is to just surrender, to know that even though your mental mind might not know what's going on, why something is happening, trust that it's happening for a higher purpose, that your higher self has got you, that it's in perfect divine timing, it's in perfect alignment. Because your mind is actually what exists within this. It exists within the 3D. It exists within the false matrix. It will keep you stuck. Your mind, if you're coming at it from the mind, it's going to keep you stuck in this prison. In order to get out of the prison, to free yourself, to be yourself, to step into abundance, to step into your true power, got to get out of your mind, into your body, into the present moment, into surrender. Just trusting, choosing to believe that you are going to be okay, no matter what is happening. So let's just do a practice together. I want you guys to just take your hand, place it on your heart for a moment, and just take a breath into your heart space. And exhale any fear, anxiety, intrusive thoughts, just releasing it to Mother Earth for transmutation. Feeling the nourishment with each inhale, how you are always, always, always connected to abundance. You are always, always, always connected to your higher self. You are always, always, always in alignment with support. Everything you need is within you. And when you really learn to embody this, that's when the 3D matrix, it starts to unfold for you accordingly, and you start to get those tangible rewards. Does this make sense? Does anyone have any questions? Let me know if you do. Troy says, is that a dove on the Wheel of Fortune card? Very likely yes. Very likely yes. I would say whatever you are feeling, go with that interpretation. Cool. Yes, it makes sense. Okay, good. Glad to hear that. All right, so powerful day, my friends. Like, I don't know if y'all feel this, but it is such a powerful portal to these new higher timelines. It might not feel like it right now. It might feel like the exact opposite, because like we said at the beginning, right? It's always darkest before the dawn. It always gets hardest right before you have that breakthrough. But know that you are like in this portal right now. Things are shifting, things are changing, doors are opening. And so we have two major arcana to denote. This is a very major transition point. So final card that we're going to pull is what gift awaits us once we do step into our power here. Once we integrate this lesson, once we learn this. And Judy, I'm glad you feel at ease. Beautiful. Yeah, just vibe. Just vibe. Is if any of you are new here, you'll know that like my lives, we just create this high frequency space for you to just vibe in, to just receive the energies, the activations, and hopefully to have some insights, some revelations. What gift waits us once we step into our power? I'm also sensing there's a lot of resistance to this. I feel like so many of us, and let me know if this is you, if this resonates. So many of us are just like these worn out soldiers that we're so like tired. We're just so burnt out and we're so tired. We're like, oh, gift, what gift? I've been promised gifts for a long time now. I haven't seen anything changing. I feel like I've been on this hamster wheel forever and nothing is moving, nothing is evolving. But know that things really are changing right now. You've been so patient, and that is going to pay off for you. You only fail when you give up. So as long as you keep on keeping and you keep on believing, you keep choosing this higher timeline, you're going to get there. Okay. What gift awaits us once we do? Okay, I think you guys are going to like this one, just based on what was just said. We got the Eight of Spears. This is the Eight of Wands in traditional tarot. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What are your impressions? Eight of Spears, Eight of Wands. What gift awaits us once we step into our power? Ooh, yeah, I like that. Like that interpretation. Taking charge. That's an excellent interpretation, Priestess. Tori says all downhill from here. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, also Priestess is one I want to say, like, taking charge. Ironically, this is all about surrender, right? Ironically, it's like in surrendering, we take charge. Does that make sense? I feel like that just like unlocked something for me. Okay, what else do we got? Ashley says, not backing down. Acceleration, things flowing, authenticity. Amen to all of that. And as I always say, if you're new to me, you're new to my tarot readings, there is no right or wrong interpretation here. Anything that you feel, that's going to be right for you. That's why I encourage you guys to kind of read with me and to check your own intuition on what feels right for you from each card. So I'm just doing like kind of a big umbrella reading for the whole collective. And then whatever comes up for you specifically, that's going to be right for you. So I would say this card, Eight of Spears, this has to do with speed. So I think the gift here, what gift awaits us? Quick manifestations. We've been patient for so long without seeing rewards. I'm getting the picture, the image of a carrot on the stick, right? Who's feeling the carrot on the stick energy lately? It's like, okay, finally we just like break the fucking stick. we cut that rope that's holding the carrot up. We get the carrot and we find out that there's just like a whole abundance of carrots. There's like a whole carrot shower that comes down. That's what I see. That's what these spears are. It's the carrot shower. So it's like, we were focused on this one carrot the whole time. We didn't realize there's a whole abundance of other carrots we didn't even see before. And we unlocked that with speed and precision. So yeah, I just sense the gift here is like in tangible manifestations happening quickly. So I'm also thinking of, I'm getting this analogy of like bamboo. I forget exactly what the time frame is. I think it's like 7 years or something. It's like bamboo, the plant, it stays underground for like 7 years or something, if I'm understanding correctly. And you don't see anything on the surface, nothing. And you're like, oh, is it still okay down there and stuff? And then all of a sudden, like within a few days or something, it like sprouts and it grows like super, super tall. And that is exactly the energy here, where it's like you've been putting all this work in, so much has been happening quite literally under the surface. One day, likely soon, I feel with this card, boom, it all shifts like in an instant. It's so quick. You're going to blink and you're going to be like, who am I anymore? What is my life anymore? I get the sense too that this could be, for a lot of people, this could be like by the end of this year, because we've been working so hard. Like we've been putting the finishing touches on this tapestry that is our lives this entire year. That's what 2025 has been all about. It's been aligning with this higher timeline, being presented with the lower timelines, getting to make the choice which timeline we want to align with. If you've been stepping into your power again and again, if you surrender, you trust that divine timing, boom, likely by the end of the year, one after another, things are all going to click into place. And so what specifically Sekhmet and the Lyrans want you guys to know, this is a very specific channeled message that's coming through right now, is anything you're feeling angsty about at the moment and you're feeling hopeless around, whether it's, your finances, your love life, your health, your home, all those big things, your work, all the big things, right? Whatever you're feeling hopeless about, know that that's exactly the lesson, that's the theme, and that's what you're going to be feeling amazing about when this shifts into place. You have to experience the opposite polarity first. That's what happens when we shift from the lower Ds, the 3D, the 4D, to the 5D and above. You have to experience the contrast. So whatever you are most stressed about right now and is the biggest pain point for you, that's going to shift for you likely by the end of the year. This is going to be like one of the best things in your life. I'm getting like mad chills. I don't know if anyone else is feeling that. I'm getting mad chills from this. So like I take that as confirmation. It's very, very exciting stuff. So they just want you to know, because they know, like, I think a lot of people either tuning in or who are going to be watching this recording are feeling like they want to just give up, and they're just like, what's the point? I'm feeling so hopeless. Why am I even doing this anymore? What's the point of life? Everything sucks. And they just want, you're so close. You're so close to the breakthrough. And it's like literally the opposite experience of what you're having right now is just about to come in whatever area or areas. And likely for many of you, it's going to be many of these areas, if not all of them. Like everything. You're like, well, my whole life is a hot mess. Good. That means your whole life is going to be amazing, like beyond your capacity to understand right now. Very shortly, very quickly, within the next 6 months or so, things will shift. As long as you are integrating, they're like, there's agency here. Know that there's agency. Take responsibility. You got to surrender. You got to let go of the need to control. Face your shadows. Choose to trust, choose to rise beyond the mind, to be embodied in the present moment, and you will make it through. Do not give up. Have faith. Choose to believe. You will make it through. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that's resonating. So let me know how that's landing with you guys. And those are our 3 cards. So now I actually want to journal. I want to journal with you guys. I've never done this on a TikTok live before, but it feels necessary. Right now, they want us to kind of just integrate the lessons, because there's been so many lessons, right, this whole year, before we move into the meditation, which will be the activation of these gifts, the activation of the higher timeline. So essentially, to get specifics, you are going to journal on these very same 3 questions for yourself. And I am just going to kind of keep time here. Normally I do it on my phone, but I'm on my phone right now. So I'm just going to like look at the timer over there, and I'm thinking 3 minutes for each one. 333. Magical number of creation. So 3 minutes, we're going to journal on each question and just allow yourself to get out of your mind. Again, this will be a nice challenge to get out of your mind into the present moment. Just allow yourself to write whatever wants to come through. Don't stop writing. Don't stop to judge what you are writing. If you stop to judge it, you're in your mind. You're blocking the channel. So it's very important. That's why we're going to do it for 3 minutes. Whatever comes out during those 3 minutes, just let it be. You can, revisit that later. You can always try this again if you're not happy with what you received this time. But know that you were supported. You were supported. There's so much support. There's everyone here on this live or anyone attending in the future on the recording. There's Sekhmet. There's the Lyrans. There's your spirit guides, our higher selves. There's a lot of love here, a lot of high frequency energies here. So I feel like people that might struggle normally to channel, to get answers via journaling, it might be easier for you this time. So don't immediately like disqualify yourself and be like, oh, I don't like journaling, I'm out. Give it a try. Give it a try. See what happens. So I will join you guys. I'm also going to journal. Let's get ready. 3 minutes on this question. What's blocking us from stepping into our full power? And you can literally tailor it to yourself and say, what's blocking me from stepping into my full power? We're going to journal on that in 3, 2, 1. You may begin. I will let you know when to stop. Wrapping it up in 30 seconds. Anyone that's just jumping in, welcome, welcome. Just know we are currently journaling on the question, what's blocking us from stepping into our full power? Okay, wrapping it up in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Done. You can put down your pen, stop journaling, and just let me know how you're feeling after that. Let's just take a moment to take stock before we move on to the next question. Let's give our hands a break, shall we? Did that spark any revelations for you? Did that spark any activations for you? Do you feel a bit lighter? Do you feel a bit emotional, a bit heavier accessing that? And Angelica, nice to have you. It's been a long time. Yeah, I haven't done a TikTok live in like a year or something, so very magical. Wanted to celebrate Lionsgate and also the 300,000 subscribers, which is a huge milestone. What are you drinking? Looks nice. It's sugar-free matcha. It's like a tea that gives you energy. I always like to have some sort of like energy drink, more of a natural energy drink when I'm doing a live session. I find that it really lifts my vibe, helps keep me focused. Thank you, Mats. Appreciate that. Nice to see you, Mike. Love you too. Welcome, welcome. Yes, it's so nice to see all these old faces, these old energies to come together for this Lionsgate. So let's move on to our second question for journaling, okay? So the second question, what's needed to step into our full power right now? What is needed to step into our full power right now? And so again, we're gonna journal for 3 minutes. And I want you guys to just, for 3 minutes, write. Don't judge, don't get in your head. Just write, let it channel. Allow yourself to be supported by these energies. And we will start in 3, 2, 1. You may begin. 3 minutes, journaling on the question, what's needed to step into our full power right now? Okay, concluding in about 30 seconds. For anyone just coming in, we are journaling on the question, what is needed to step into our full power right now? Okay, wrapping it up in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you can put down your pen, whatever you're writing with. Take a deep breath with me. Integrating, reflecting on what you wrote. And you can share with us in the chats any revelations that came through, how you're feeling right now. If you're feeling lighter, like I said, you could be feeling lighter. You could be feeling heavier, more emotional, like it ripped up something. We'll just take a moment before we move on to our third and final question, which is going to be the fun one to journal on, the gift that awaits us on the other side of this. And this is where we will really explore that higher timeline and really like access it through our pen. And so I'll just say, I always recommend journaling. A lot of people resist it for whatever reason, because it's, talked about a lot. A lot of people bring up journaling, but that's because it works. It's because there's a reason for it. And I love journaling because it literally makes the intangible woo-woo stuff up here tangible. When you write something, you are getting it out of your energy, for one. If it's something negative, something you don't want, something that's distracting you, you are literally taking that from your energy and you're transferring it through your hand, through the pen, onto the page, out of your energy, and it is no longer blocking you. So it can be really helpful just to like kind of rant in your journal and to get rid of like heavy energies that way. And similarly, if you write about positive things like we're about to do in a moment, you can literally plant seeds in your reality because you make it tangible, and you're literally setting the intention, hey, this is already like a thing. It's real. It's written down in physical 3D tangible reality right here. And so it's also encouraged that you write about things that you're excited about, that you want to experience, that you wish you could experience, ideally also in the present tense, as if you're currently experiencing them, because that will really, really kind of trick reality into believing that it's already so. And you can trick your own brain, your own subconscious into believing it's already so when you read these things in the present tense. And you're just like, oh yeah, maybe that did happen. Did that happen? So it's a very, very powerful tool. And that's why I wanted to incorporate that into today's live, and know that it's extra super potent, supported by the energies of Lionsgate today. Even if you're watching this and it's not Lionsgate, it's got the energies of Lionsgate encoded in the video, since I am filming this, recording this during that time period. So you can basically have this little souvenir, this memento of Lionsgate, and take it with you whenever you want. And for those who are attending live, know that I intend to put this live on my YouTube as a recording, so you can just access it indefinitely from here on out. So that said, let's get to it. Let's journal on number 3. What gift awaits us once we step into our full power? Okay, so we're going to journal for 3 minutes, and I'll let you know when time is up. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. You may begin. What gift awaits us once we step into our full power? Wrapping it up in 30 seconds. Just a heads up, we are journaling right now on the question, what gifts awaits us once we step into our full power, and using that as a bridge and anchor into this higher timeline, allowing yourself to feel it, to access it as you write, to channel it, to create it. We're going to wrap that up in 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. You can put your pen down, your pencil down, and just take a moment to breathe, to integrate, to have gratitude for this moment, and to have gratitude for yourself, for choosing yourself, for committing to yourself in this way, committing to this practice in this way. And if you have any revelations you'd like to share with us, just let us know how you're feeling. You can feel free to do so in the chat. Also, if anyone has any quick questions or anything, feel free to ask those. Our next phase is we're going to go into the meditation, and that's going to have an activation of our divine power. We're going to call in Sekhmet. We're going to call in the Lyrans. It's going to be a super fun time. We're going to open the way to our highest timelines together. But first, let's just take a moment to regroup, to ground ourselves. Let me know where you guys are at. Matt says, I'm a Sag, what are you? I am a Leo. I'm a Leo. So happy birthday to me. It's going to be my birthday in, I think, less than 2 weeks now. Thank you, Water Bear Medicine from Essex, UK. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Dan from Ozark, Alabama. Cool, cool, cool. All right, last call for questions. If you have any questions or anything you want to share for our collective integration before we go deep in this meditation together. Mike says, still doing readings, question mark. So if you're talking about like on the lives, no. But if you're just talking about in general, yes. You can book via my website, ownyourpowers.com. All right. So with that said, I think we are going to get into it, my friends. So you can just get into a comfortable position, ideally somewhere where you're not going to be disturbed by others, somewhere where you can really focus, you can hone in, you can open yourself to these energies. We'll get started in just a second. And cool, Mike. Yeah, it would be awesome to connect with you. So when you guys are ready to begin the meditation, you can just close your eyes and start to bring awareness to your breathing, to your breath. Without attachment, without needing to control. Remember, surrender is the name of the game today. Surrendering to the natural rhythm of your breath, of your breathing. Every inhale and every exhale, allowing each breath to bring you deeper and deeper into that state of surrender, expansion, openness. Allowing your breath to guide you. And setting the intention now that with every inhale you take, you are connecting directly with source light, source energy, allowing that to come in through your head, down into your body, into your energy, dissolving any blockages, activating your DNA, activating your light codes, opening your divine channel. And as you exhale, every time simply giving anything which is not a match to these higher frequencies back to Mother Earth for transmutation. Letting it go, letting it flow back to Mother Earth as you become lighter and lighter, clearer and clearer, more and more grounded, centered in your own energy, empowered in your own energetic field, bringing in more and more source light with every inhale you take, releasing more and more of the density with every exhale. Allowing your energy body to relax, to connect with this divine inner sun, accessible through your heart chakra. Feeling that life force energy expanding, growing, amplifying with every breath you take. Giving you the strength, the vitality, the power needed to keep on keeping. To choose yourself fiercely, relentlessly. To break the cycles, to forge a new path. Know that you are the cycle breaker. You have always been the cycle breaker. You did not come here to repeat the same patterns over and over again. You came to break them. Exhale. Let them go now. Let go of the old hurts, the old traumas, the old patterns. Allow more and more of your authentic self to shine through. Choose to be here now, to be you now, to be alive now. Know that life gets to be what you decide. You simply have to decide it, to choose it again and again and again when you are presented with contrast. And eventually, you will experience the reality of your choosing. It is a universal law. So breathe in that relief, that support now. With your next breath, allowing in support. Now we're going to call on our higher selves, our spirit teams, ancestors, deities, dragons, angels, ascended masters, any and all high frequency beings who have your highest good in mind and in heart, and the highest good of all in mind and in heart. In particular, we will bring focus today to the goddess Sekhmet and the Lyran collective. Seeing how these beings join you, creating a bubble of protection, of safety, of clarity, of choice, abundance, freedom, empowerment around you. Feeling that inner fire, that inner sun activating in their presence. Knowing that you were not brought here by accident. This was divinely ordained. Your soul led you here for a reason. And only you know what that reason is. Perhaps it will reveal itself to you, open itself to you now. Allow yourself to receive. Breathe it in. Know that you are safe. You are worthy. You are so fucking powerful. You are unstoppable. You are unlimited. You are here. You are that you are that you are. This is your time. Set your intention now for this session. I want you to take your hands in front of you and imagine you have an orb of energy between your hands. You mold this orb of energy as if it were clay, putty in your hands, imbuing it with your intention. Get clear now on what you would like to understand, what you would like to know. Get clear now on how you would like to feel at the end of this session. Get clear now on what you would like to see manifested as your Lionsgate gift. And give this all to that orb between your hands. Play with it for a moment. Notice its shape, its size, its temperature, its texture. And once you feel it is completed, you may enter the center of this circle created by Sekhmet and the Lyrans and offer this orb of energy above your head to them. You can literally take your hands in the physical, in the 3D, lift them above your head and feel how these beings, these higher frequency energies, take it from you, relieving you of this burden. Know that it is so now. It is manifested. You don't need to make it happen. You don't need to figure it out. Simply receive, allow, trust. It already exists. Otherwise, you couldn't even fathom it. Now it's simply a matter of your current reality catching up to this reality where it exists. Let it. Know that you are held as these timelines now converge. Now you can place your hand on your heart and allow yourself to sink into the sounds, the feel, the vibration of your own heartbeat. Know that you have a sun within you. This is your inner sun, your divine sun. This is your divine power. You can activate it. You can access it through your heart space now. So imagine now that your heart expands, it grows before you till it is giant in size and you are a mere ant in comparison to it. And in the center of your heart, a portal, a doorway opens that will take you to your own inner sun, your own power. On the count of 3, you may enter this portal and access that power. 1, 2, 3. Entering that portal now and arriving at your own inner sun, arriving at your power. Take a moment in silence to observe what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you know. Grounding into this power. And your power, your inner sun has a message for you now. Allow it to share its message with you. Maybe it takes you on a journey, shows you some images, gives you some feelings. Allow yourself to experience this now. And as you experience this, I will be channeling some light language for you to further amplify. Asa kata likuta ya usu, ekutanana asa ukala asi, akuta usu kata ukonanaya, esukanaya ani akuta usu, talakata usa, sukata asi akata ne ya kata esa, lakata usi na yakata use, atenana nye. Atena nane ikuna yale esanaka usi yate asuka ne yate asuka yate ayakana na usuna tuna yakula suna yatela katata usi na yusu nu yatana kuna mwasi yatula sana tata kuta yatsu yat usuna kata asi. Know that no dark forces are strong enough to stand in your way. You are unstoppable. You are unbeatable. You are a spiritual warrior. You are being bolstered, strengthened now. The darkness dissolves at the sight of you, runs at the sight of you. You are powerful. You are light. You are eternal. You are unlimited. Ye tula katana ye tala e katata usuya a tela kataya e tula katata e suna yato u e la tanana ye kotola usia kala e tula kata ye tuna momu suya tana e tula katata esu e atana momu siya tula katata a e la katane ya e tatana musi yatana ukola ya esa e yu kanane sana yatana usu. You are being anointed now. This is your initiation, your divine initiation on your ascension path in this life. Asuna ye kana atio usu antalakata a unana yetala esukanana yisu. They are so proud of you. You've come so far. You have suffered so much. You have suffered enough. You carry scars deep in your soul. You can let them go now. Ela kana a, ela kana a, ela kana a, ela kana a, e tula kata a, e yatana u suna yatala. Celebrate now. U tula kata e sanaya, e kanaya, e kanaya. You have made it. Utula tana Yesu, anana ina, anana una yatala a, esuna tana e, ayakana, 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 nanana, etarana, e kunana, e sunayetana, e sunaya, e latane, e musu yatana isi. Utu, allow yourself to return to love now. Know that love is your safe space, your beacon, your power. Musu, you belong here. Akunana etana, atana kena. You've always belonged here. You are safe. You are creating new earth from within this inner fire. This is your power. You are a creator. Create now. Create and allow your creations to take on lives of their own. Allow them to expand. This is the key to your abundance. When you are creating, when you are in service to others, to the collective, this activates your abundance. This aligns you with frequencies of wealth and abundance. This carries you back home. This creates the new earth energies. Let's integrate, let's ground, let's anchor these energies now. I want you to imagine with your breath now you are taking this frequency from your own inner sun, and as you exhale, you are sending it into the earth. You are manifesting these frequencies tangibly, physically. You are creating the new earth. Atu natana esuyakana. You are so powerful, more powerful than you know. Let's create this new earth together now, this higher timeline. It is 11:11 where I'm at right now. It is a portal. Asakana asakana ayatuna na yetulakata enayata usanana ukana lakatana lakanana Keep going. You are so loved. You are so held. You are divine. New earth starts with you. Mawasinana uka tunamama ukanaya tukatala ana akina usunayatala ekana 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 eta lemanesa. Receive your rewards now. You are ready. You are worthy. You are capable. And now, with that, you may step into your highest timeline officially. See it open before you as yet another portal with ornate decorating around it. It is beautiful, glorious, magical, glistening, shimmering. Feel its presence, feel its vibration, allow it to pull you towards it. Choose to approach, and you will do so. You always have a choice. And on the count of 3, you may step through this portal fully, entering that highest timeline now. 1, 2, and 3. Entering the portal, you are now in your highest timeline. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you know? I will give you a few moments in silence to experience this highest timeline in all of its glory before we wrap up. Know that if you are attending this live or watching this recording, you have had lifetimes as a Lyran being, and you are now integrating those lifetimes. There's great trauma associated with those lifetimes. As in our current timeline, the Lyrans have gone extinct. But you are bringing them home now. You are bringing yourself home now. Dissolving those lower timelines. Coming back into union, wholeness, fullness in the present moments, in this divine timeline. Know that all is well. You have done well. You get to reap your rewards now. You get to party. Have yourself a good time. Celebrate, smile, laugh. So on the count of 1, you will return back to the 3D, back to your body, your meat suit, as I like to call it. Fully integrated, fully activated, fully ready to start seeing, experiencing, embodying this highest timeline now. And over the coming days, weeks, months, you will see more and more manifestations snowballing of this highest timeline. You may even start to see manifestations right now, immediately. Proof that you are in alignment with this highest timeline still. No matter how dark things may get, how challenging, take it as a reminder that you are always aligned. You are always held. You are all powerful. So go forth and create now. Go forth and receive now. Go forth and be now. Ukanana e la kata'a, e tanana usanaya, e la kana, e la kana usanayana, unana, e tana uwala kela, e tana u, ne tana u, e tana u. 3, 2, and 1. You can come back to your body now, come back to presence, come back to the 3D, fully integrated, activated, ready to experience this highest timeline and all of its juiciness. So thank you, each and every person who has shown up today, live or on the recording. Much, much love to you. Let me know if you're live, how you're feeling after that. I'm curious how you're integrating. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for showing up. Feeling very peaceful. I love it. Me too. You're welcome. Together we rise. Nicola, yeah, so if you go to my YouTube, I'm gonna post it there after it's fully done processing. So my YouTube is just Own Your Powers, and yeah, the recording will be on YouTube. Jody says, so peaceful. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Let's see what y'all are saying. Rod says, thank you, Hannah. Really good as usual. Really powerful. Glad to hear it. Mike says, funny how divine timing works. I think about you. Your messages often. Today was perfect. Glad to hear it. Yeah, it's nice to be back. Jane says, loved it. Feeling relaxed. Beautiful. Jody says, it all came full circle too. The journal entry I did was full embodiment of the higher self. Love it. Yes. Together we rise says, definitely lighter but a little shaky in a good way. Good, yeah. I also felt the shakiness, and know that it's almost like a release of fear and just old energies if you're shaky. Just like if you think of like an animal after they're in a traumatizing situation, they shake, right? They shake out that trauma, like quite literally. Yeah. So Gigabor, That's a bummer that you missed the first part, but yeah, there will be a recording on my YouTube that you can catch up on. Okay, Darren, I felt so shackled, still feel it. Yeah, likely that will start to dissolve over the coming days as this integrates more and more. And I would encourage you to check out the recording, and you can run through that same meditation a few times, and each time you do it, it will help you release yet another layer to integrate yet another layer each time you do it. So that said, maybe for a few minutes I can take any questions if anyone has a question about anything. Darren says, yes, amazing. Glad to hear it. Yeah, Nicholas says, where did you learn all of this? I guess I just accessed it from myself. It's all just channeled. I can't say that I had any specific teacher for this stuff. It's just kind of all happened very naturally as I woke up to my own gifts. I think for me, tarot was kind of an activator. Like when I started doing tarot readings, it really activated my psychic abilities, and I was just led to each next step. Like after I started doing the tarot, then I started doing guided meditations, and then just allowed the energies to channel naturally. So yeah, I would say once you just get started with this, if you're also hoping to develop your own, psychic abilities, healing abilities, it's important to have like a regular practice with it. So I would do tarot readings like every single day, and before I knew it, my abilities were like really, really strong. And then I was able to do all these like other things too, very easily, very simply. And so I would encourage anyone hoping to develop their psychic abilities, pick something that allows you to feel connected to a higher power and do that thing every day. And just like going to the gym, it's going to start to strengthen those muscles. It'll become easier and easier to channel and to do that work. Darren says, you don't even have a clue how powerful you are. Incredible. Thank you, Darren. I received that. I appreciate that. Jody says, love this. Glad to hear it. Okay. Anyone else have any questions? I myself feel like it's interesting that we got the Wheel of Fortune card earlier, right? Because I feel like Wheel of Fortune energy for this Lionsgate, it's really interesting. It's a really like odd, mysterious sort of feeling where I feel like this is a mixed bag. It's like a wild card Lionsgate. I feel it's very, very powerful and exciting, but I don't know why yet. I don't know exactly what's going to manifest yet or how it's going to look for us and what ripple effects we've just created today. But I can tell it's going to be really, really good. Nicholas said, how do you tarot? Just do them in your family? So I started with the tarot. I started doing it for myself. So, and I recommend like anyone can do this, right? Like you just ask a question, just like we asked a few questions today. What's blocking us from stepping into our full power, for example? And pull a card and then do your interpretations. Ideally, like you would write down kind of what you received, at least in the beginning, to sort of integrate. And then when I built up my confidence with that, I then started to read for like my friends and my family. And then eventually I got called to just do readings on TikTok. And from there, I started doing paid client work as well. So it all just kind of like scaled up naturally as I started doing it for myself first and foremost. Gigabor says, you were talking about the Lyrans. Do you remember much? I just have glimpses. I would say if you're talking about like in this particular session, I didn't see much. There was just it was just an energy. It was just a presence. It was this just like love, this peace. This is almost like, oh, the fight is over. The trauma is over kind of energy that they were like radiating. And I kind of just saw these Lyran beings like standing around us all in a circle. That's kind of what I got. And yeah, I'd be curious what glimpses you remembered. Cool, Darren feels it too. Same as me, so cool. So Nicholas says, do you just get a feeling from the card? I do tarot and try to feel the message from the card. Yeah, that's how I recommend people read cards, actually. It's like, I always ask, like, what's your first hit? What's your first feeling from the card when you look at it, rather than getting in your head about it, being like, oh, what does this card mean traditionally? Because I find it to be a very, very intuitive practice. And sure, the traditional meanings, they can be helpful in your own interpretations, but I wouldn't let that become a cage. So I always say, like, do your impressions first and foremost of like what the tarot means to you, what intuitive hits you're getting. Then from there, if you feel called, you can look up the traditional meaning and start to like learn the cards and allow that to add even more flavoring, if you will, to your readings. And I would say that's what I did when I was learning tarot. And now it's like I do know the traditional meanings just by naturally doing that over and over and over again for years. You're welcome, Nicola. Any other questions? We got a few more minutes before I'm going to dip out. And I'm also curious if anyone wants to share for our collective integration, just to amplify the energies. What are you being called to create? That was huge. That was a surprise to me. Like, what came through when I was channeling is there's a big emphasis on like creating something and sharing that with the world. I'm curious what that was for everyone here. Nicholas says, have you ever used dowsing rods? No, I have not. But they're cool, and they definitely have my attention. How long have you been doing it, if I may ask? Someone's asking. If you're asking about tarot, quite a while now. Quite a while. At least like 7 years for the tarot, I would say. At least. Gigabor says, one day my face started changing in the mirror, different Lyrans as I was leaving for work. That's super cool. That's also happened to me, and I would recommend that to anyone that wants to get attuned to like their other lives, their parallel lives, their past lives, their future lives. Just look in the mirror for like 10 minutes. Just see what happens. Let your gaze get kind of like relaxed. And you may notice that your face starts to change and morph into these different things. And oftentimes these are your own past parallel lives that you're seeing. Robert says, talk about the spirit dragon. What specifically would you want to know about dragons? And Victoria, lovely to see you as well. Yeah, this is like my first live on TikTok in like a year. So yeah, very exciting, but it was fun. So maybe I'll do them more frequently. Who knows? Christelle says there's a lot of accounts messaging me using your profile. Yeah, unfortunately, that's a thing that happens with like spiritual people online. There's all these posers, these fake people. So just be really mindful. You can just report those people. That's the best we can do from what I understand. Yeah, so user says, I wish this would be recorded and posted on YouTube now. It will be once we get off the live and it's processed. I will eventually post this up on YouTube. So Nicholas says, I'm creating an album. Oh, that's excellent, but I've come to stop as my health has become really bad. Sorry to hear that, but I would say, like, if you can, even just try like a few minutes a day, try to do something towards creating that album. Maybe you find that it has a positive effect on your health. I would say that I just get this sense that this could be those challenges that we talked about at the beginning of the session, where it's like we're aiming for something, we have a goal, and then we get met with all these obstacles, this resistance, these challenges, and basically it's testing our resolve. It's like, hey, how bad do you really want this thing? That's just the hit that's coming through for you. So Together We Rise says, I need to use my voice and tell my story. Also learning to get out of my head. Yeah. Well, I would say a great way to do this, I may be a bit biased, is like post on TikTok, post on YouTube, like just share what's on your heart. And it'll be scary at first, but the more you do it, the easier it's going to become, and you will feel so much better. I know for so long myself, I just felt completely blocked, like in the throat chakra, and I would have all these like sore throat problems, chronic bronchitis. I had to have my tonsils removed, all this stuff, because I realize now in retrospect, I was like hiding my truth. I wasn't allowed to really speak up. All the people around me, they really were like silencing, and I learned to just keep my mouth shut and not talk about spirituality around these people because they just didn't understand. And then I got the hit to start like posting on TikTok, and I did, and I was surprised at how many people actually resonated with the stuff that I had to say, and it was so healing for my throat chakra, and now I have like no problems with my throat whatsoever. So yeah, I would say that can be really liberating experience, a really healing experience, if that's something you struggle with. And also getting out of your head, the antidote to that is just action. Just take action. You can't think about something if you're acting on it. Yeah, Victoria misses my lives. Me too. I miss them too. Darren says, for me, it's launching my music career. I have a divine voice that activates awakenings, so I will be doing mass awakenings at some point with my singing voice. That sounds excellent. And I would say, Darren, like, what can you do today to start anchoring that in, to bring that about? Shelly says, why do I do hand signs? Speaking other language. They say it's light language, but I'm afraid to use it. Totally light language. And yeah, I don't know if you were here for that, but that's what I was just doing just now when I was doing light language. It's like you speak gibberish basically, and you do weird shit with your hands that you can't really explain. That's light language. I would say you don't need to be afraid to use it. It's just higher frequency energy. The ego, the mind can't make sense of it, can't wrap itself around it because it's such a high frequency. It bypasses the ego, it bypasses the mental realm, and that's what makes it so powerful, is it's just like instant healing frequency. And so I love it as a sort of cheat code, as I like to say, when I'm like really struggling in my head, for example, or I'm in the ego. I'll just do some light language because my ego can't understand it, and immediately it gets me out of the ego into my heart, into my soul. Cool. Nicholas says, I will get it out there. Yes, like to hear that. I want it to be done right, but I don't know if to drop it on Spotify. Yeah, you're in your head, my friend. You're in my head. Just take action, just do it, and then you can respond to what happens. I would say Spotify, if you feel called to it, give it a try, see what happens. If that doesn't work out, then you can take another action after that. Cool. Together We Rise says, I did take action this week. Today's video is done unscripted. That's beautiful, my friend. Glad to hear that. Sounds super powerful. Yeah, Chris Dully. Yeah, I miss you guys too. Yeah, if you guys like this vibe, these vibes, and you want to hang with me, you're always able to join me in the House of the Spirit Dragon, which is my private community. We meet twice a month live in that private space. I really like that space just because it's very intimate and private, and like we don't just have random trolls coming in and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I put more of my focus now, rather than just on these like public lives. Cool. Nicola will do. I am glad to hear that, my friend. All right. Any other questions, concerns, anything before we dip out? I think I'm going to wrap up this live in a moment here. But just to recap, so we pulled like tarot and we journaled right on the 3 questions. What's blocking us from stepping into our full power? The tower. That rhymes. Power tower. Power tower. What's needed to step into our full power? Wheel of Fortune. What gift awaits us once we do? 8 of Spears, 8 of Wands. So yeah, like the big theme of the day is just surrendering. And ironically, through that surrender, you will be able to have the life that you want. It's like we're still kind of clinging from the ego is what I sense. There's still a part of us that's like, oh, if I let go, if I surrender, it's never going to happen. Oh my gosh. Just let it go. Let it go. See what happens. You can take action if things don't work out afterwards. And yeah, I've sensed really, really nice things are in store for everyone. It feels like a really positive energy is about to come in once we get through this tower moment sort of energy, this darkness right here. Should be nice, expansive, open, high vibrational energy. Right. Yeah, you're welcome, Nicola. Nice to see you. Nice to see everyone. It was lovely joining forces with you guys, creating this high vibrational space, sending love to each and every one of you guys on your journeys. So as I would say, namaste, and stay powerful, my friends. And know that if you missed any part of this, you want to see the whole thing, likely I'm going to be posting this recording very soon on my YouTube, Own Your Powers. So stay tuned for that. Alrighty. So I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.